Hi everyone, it's me Pat and I welcome you to the 4th challenge update. As always, you can find links to my previous videos in the description box below, be sure to check them out. And with that said, let's get started. 1922 is another horror movie based on a Stephen King short story. It's a bit of a slow burn, exploring the theme of guilt with a spin on karmic justice / poetic irony. It's about a farmer in 1922 whose wife wishes to sell the land and move to the big city. Being against the idea and wanting to keep the land so his son can inherit it, he solicits his son to aid him in the murder of his wife and then getting rid of the body. Once the deed is done, life's good for a short while, until things start going awry. His son ditches him because he got his girlfriend, a rich landowner's daughter, pregnant and leads the life of a small-time criminal to provide for them both. One day, the farmer's dead wife appears in the dead of night, telling him about what happened to their son. Things go from bad to worse and he's forced to sell the very land he murdered his wife for and leave for the big city to find work. The story isn't super suspenseful. It feels a lot like a short story stretched out for far too long. It becomes somewhat tedious toward the end without a satisfying climax. The acting was good and the cinematography was good. The main character's particular dialect using old-timey words can often be difficult to understand.
Henry grown sweet on the coterie girl from next door.
The movie was interesting to say the least. The number 23, starring Jim Carrey, can be divisive. I personally liked it and was totally okay with which direction the movie went in and how it ended. It's about a guy who becomes obsessed with the number 23 after reading a book about a character called Fingerling, who's eerily similar to him. When watching, I realized there were a few directions the movie could have gone in. For example, there being a supernatural reason for all of it, him becoming obsessed and assuming the identity of Fingerling, but the book being written by him was just as good of a direction to take the movie in. I was totally fine with that. Open 24 Hours is a movie where the frame story is far more intriguing than the actual story. It's a cheap slasher movie taking place at a 24 hours open gas station. The production quality is good, the acting is decent and the plot is stupid at times, but the frame story is really interesting and would make for a far better psychological thriller than the slasher flick that it is. I'll give you a quick rundown. The protagonist is released from prison after setting her serial killer boyfriend on fire. She gets a job at the gas station and of course, her incarcerated boyfriend escaped from prison that day to get revenge. It has a decent red herring, but as I alluded to earlier, the frame story is much more interesting. The protagonist was dubbed the Watcher by the press because when she found out her boyfriend was a serial killer, he made her watch as he killed his victims. That plotline has a lot more potential than the uninspired standard slasher we got instead. For the 25th, I used the first Joker to combine two movies into a new number, namely Dig to Graves and Devil's Five. While the first movie was a pleasant surprise, the latter was one of those questionable straight-to-trash TV productions.
We're fucking Satanists, man.
Dig to Graves is about a young girl who loses her brother. Three Albanian gypsy brothers living on the outskirts of town offer her to bring him back if she offers them up as sacrifice. As the story unfolds, we learn about the injustices committed against the gypsies and their thirst for revenge to punish the perpetrator. It was well produced, well acted and very engaging. I enjoyed it. The second movie though was a complete bust. The apocalypse is upon us and an IT guy has USB sticks with some movies on them that prove it. Honestly, this movie is a bunch of film school students coming together and making an anthology of their horror short films, starring amateur actors. Here, let me give you an example of how bad it is. Enjoy this grandiose escape scene. Also, I can't believe this was produced in 2021. 26 Years is a Korean thriller based on a popular manhwa about the Gwangju massacre from 1980. It's about 5 people who were influenced by the massacre and now 26 years later want the man responsible for ordering the massacre to apologize for the trauma he inflicted or kill him. The idea sounds interesting and the movie starts off with a decent hook and the visual spectacle, but it quickly descends into boredom. It stretches out their assassination plan without giving any proper insights, and out of the blue 2 of the 5 conspirators decide to assassinate the minister on their own. They fail, end up getting saved and go back to their original plan. In the end, their plan fails as well. The movie isn't very well paced. It slows down considerably and needlessly stretches out dialogue through character relations and character development. I expected more thrill and suspense and less self-reflection. That's why I chose this movie. It's sad to say, but it failed to meet my expectations. The 27 Club is a movie based on the 27 Club myth. If you don't know what that is, many influential artists have died at the age of 27. Even though it is only a coincidence, it's hard to shake the eerily supernatural connotation the fact has. Anyway, the movie suggests that these people had a pact with the demon or the devil. It follows the story of an untalented singer who acquires the demonic book that she uses to acquire talent. At the age of 27, she then dies, leaving a legacy. This is a more amateurish movie, but overlooking the obvious, it's actually an entertaining movie with a coherent story and an interesting idea. I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would. 28 Weeks Later is the sequel to 28 Days Later. I chose to watch the sequel because I've seen the original a few times already and watched it not too long ago. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you watch it. It's a good zombie movie. It's quite good with some amazing scenes in it. Yeah, so 28 Weeks Later is more or less the same thing. The virus is contained but still around, dormant in one single person. The person gets found and the rage virus spreads anew. But this time around, the military and the world are ready for it and they're hellbent on getting rid of it for good. And there you have it. These are the movies I watched from the 22nd to the 28th. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel and check out some of my other videos. With that said, thanks for watching and I hope to see you again.